What's happening, everybody? Welcome to another stream here on HackDroid Crypto. And today I wanted to go over something called Polymath. And Polymath, as some of you guys may know, in the past I've briefly touched on Instagram, but overall it is sparking a megatrend in crypto. A lot of people are kind of chattering about it, and ultimately it is around a securities token. So if you guys are a little bit familiar with some of the previous videos that I've been doing, they are around some ERC20 tokens, and that is the Ethereum token that people use for ICOs or initial coin offerings. And what Polymath is creating is a platform that brings together all of the different aspects of a legal version of that. So they have different layers that I'm going to go over in a minute, but overall, I do think that this is an important topic to cover early on, just because it is something that is going to change a lot of how tokenization works in the future. It is a very important topic for things like real estate. It's important topics for, or an important topic for businesses that are trying to do these ICOs, and ultimately it's super important, almost as important as my mustache right now. So I'm going to go over just quickly what it is, why I'm very interested in it, and why I've been researching it for the past couple of months. I've been following their progress ever since they listed on Bittrex, ever since they've been on Ether Delta, actually, which is one of the it looks like it was almost built by a high school student or something. Very, very rudimentary exchange. So the first thing I wanted to go over, let me pull up the stream real quick so I can answer any questions as we go. First thing I wanted to go over is just briefly what it is. So let's pull up the video about Broccoli Gaming. Welcome to the stream. I'm going to go over what it is. Thanks for asking. I'm going to go over what Polymath is, what a securities token platform actually means, and let's scroll through to the video and watch the video real quick so that we can get a sense for this.
ICOs have raised more than $4 billion worth of early-stage capital, massively disrupting traditional finance. But while token fundraising is a booming trend, the global securities market has yet to participate. Stocks, bonds, venture capital, private equity, and virtually every category of traditional finance function better on the blockchain. Equity, LP shares, and share units will become programmable tokens that are more accessible, liquid, and secure than traditional forms of asset ownership. But no platform exists today that bridges the gap between financial securities and the blockchain.
Yep, legally.
Today, businesses looking to join the crypto revolution by launching their own token have nowhere to go. Enter Polymath. Polymath envisions a future where token holders replace shareholders in the global economy, and every business in the world has immediate access to trillions of dollars worth of crypto capital. Powered by its native token, Polymath is ushering in a new era of security token offerings, or STOs. STOs will soon dominate ICOs as financial products of all sorts upgrade to tokens. To facilitate this mega trend, Polymath is building the...
So as you can quickly get a glimpse of from their video, is they're very bullish on the idea that it's basically going to replace all of the billions that were raised in cryptocurrency already through ICOs, and it's such a bold statement. But they are effectively creating this mega trend, which is why I'm very interested in it. I'm always kind of intrigued by people that are so bullish in a project where they're saying that they're literally going to flip the world upside down and tokenize everything, which I honestly admire. But let's finish this up.
The world's first decentralized protocol that empowers corporations to launch their own security token by simplifying the technical and legal challenges of a compliant token launch. With KYC-aware token technology, Polymath ensures only authorized investors can participate in the network. By powering the next generation of regulatory-friendly tokens, Polymath aims to be the catalyst that launches the multi-trillion-dollar security token revolution. Let the stampede begin. Polymath.
Yeah. So I like the bull logo. I like it. It is a very interesting project. I love the aspect of the bold. Just everything is so bold and upfront and saying like we are about to just completely crush and dwarf what ICOs have done and are going to do. But one of the very, very key pieces to this is differentiating what a security token, I think it was their ST20 was what they're calling it, versus utility tokens, which are the ERC20 tokens on Ethereum. They are saying that security tokens and Polymath are ownership of an asset, investors expecting profit, and regulated offerings. So KYC regulated, which is a very, very hard thing to do, which is why a lot of people are speculating this is a pretty big deal, just because they're just saying that up front that they're pioneering the securities token space. If you guys go on Twitter at all, you'll see that it's everywhere. Everyone's talking about how securities or Ethereum is potentially being considered a security. I think May 7th, 2018 is when the SEC is coming out and talking about whether Ethereum is classified as a security, which would be devastating and actually a very, very bad call. But that's actually pumping Polymath, and it's actually pushing a lot of people towards Polymath because they're taking these early steps, going with KYC regulated offerings instead of the ERC20 token offering that can be accessed by anyone in the world. So utility tokens, access to a protocol, purchasers, and unregulated crowd sales. These are the ICOs that we were talking about before. So these are their kind of pillars, the three that people are. I'm mostly excited about real estate. So real estate, there is already projects that are in the works from what I hear through the pipeline that are going to involve tokenizing real estate like hotels and real estate kind of commercial buildings that people are building. That's very, very exciting to me that's opening up trillions of dollars of investment money coming into that. That's pretty incredible. Equities, that's not so interesting to me, but I do know a lot of people on Wall Street and former Wall Street people that are in crypto right now that are very, very interested in that kind of silo of Polymath. But last but not least, I live here in Silicon Valley. I think it's something like 60% of rent paid here comes from venture capitalists. And just throwing that stat out initially sounds pretty mind-blowing, but there's so many startups here that are paying rent. It's just kind of the ecosystem here and in San Francisco. So LPs and limited partners at venture capital firms can actually, offer tokens, and they can invest in these tokens. So one of the catches to an ERC20 ICO or a token sale that a lot of people may not know is in an LP's contract. So an LP is a person that stands behind a venture capital firm. They're putting their money in, they're investing in the firm to make good investments and get a return ultimately. So what happens is they sign an agreement saying, all right, I'm putting my money in if you follow these rules to invest in the fund, investing in companies. You take the money that's in the fund and you invest smartly, and you follow these rules. So that's been a little bit of a difficult channel for venture capitalists to invest in these initial coin offerings and invest in companies that are, in the space. And these rules have kept them from making ERC20 type investments. They're using all sorts of interesting tactics to kind of navigate into companies and really just invest cash into the business instead of cryptocurrency. And I've heard a lot of stories of ICOs, horror stories from 2017 that, lots of people have talked about LP issues and people investing in companies that shouldn't be investing in companies, and it's just mayhem. So these three verticals, primarily the two on either side, are the ones that I'm very excited to see how it plays out. Mainly real estate and secondary venture capital, and third is the equity markets. I think that venture capital is probably going to be the biggest first, personally, because of the hindrance that currently ERC20s are causing venture capitalists. They are trying to figure out how to get involved, and a lot of funds, everybody knows someone starting a crypto fund now in 2018. It's like the hot thing to do, but I do think that these types of agreements that the Polymath platform is going to be providing is kind of the next generation of ERC20. Like ERC20 opened the door and said, wow, we can actually crowd sale like millions and millions, if not $1 billion worth of funding into our company. So that flips venture capital upside down, and these guys are kind of the nail in the coffin, saying, all right, you guys can actually put your money through here, but so can the average people that are qualified to do so. And they're not just opening up to the masses, but at the same time, it is competition, and competition is healthy. The smart investors that are in venture capital, they know that competition is healthy, and they just have to step their game up when it comes to tokenized ownership. Why tokenized securities, programmable equity, fundraising, 24/7 access. There's no middleman, low fees, and access to the $2 billion unbanked. If you guys have seen some of my previous reviews, you will know that I've talked about the unbanked probably a dozen times. That is a very common trend that I'm seeing in crypto, and I'm interested to see who actually cracks the nut around the 2 billion unbanked people in the world. And Securities 2.0. Polymath empowers trillions of dollars of financial securities to effortlessly migrate to the blockchain. And it is distributed on the ST network, powered by Poly. KYC, liquidity, collaboration, and create security tokens in minutes. So I'm really excited about this whole concept that they are putting themselves right next to Ethereum. I think that's bold. Love it. And they're kind of showing this progression where they say, all right, with Ethereum, there was Bitcoin, Litecoin that started the space and just really started paving things out. And then Ethereum came in, and then boom, you had all of these insanely large offerings to people and these ridiculous quantities of money being raised in seconds. And what they're saying now is blockchain capital and Braid, which have relationships with the kind of venture capital community within crypto. They very much have paved the way for investing in the space legally and allowing very kind of bona fide money coming in from traditional backgrounds. They've allowed it to funnel in. So what Polymath is saying is that their ST20 token is going to basically take what ERC20 took right off the ground, because venture funds, venture capital, and real estate and commodities are going to just push it all the way up. And I do love this side-by-side comparison. I should probably make this the thumbnail just because it's so badass, but really enjoy the kind of differences here. And we're right here right now. So yeah, right at the bottom. Yeah, they have all the side-by-sides. Launch the revolution, ICO easy for devs, fueled by Ether, ERC20, launching the ST revolution with 10 trillion instead of 500 billion. STO easy for businesses, powered by Poly and ST20. IPOs 2.0, so they have Looks like just this kind of very dynamic. Oh, okay. So the KYC provider, the issuer, the secondary buyer, they are sitting on the platform and helping the listing. Okay, very interesting. They actually show everything right up front, how the flow works. Very cool. And the team. I have mentioned multiple times before that I actually saw this guy do an interview on a Tai Lopez. I want to say it was like a forum where he brought on blockchain experts and everything. And this guy actually was on there and he talked about it very, very long time ago. But I want to say that was like 3 months ago, something like that. So long before they were actually listing on exchanges. And that was around the time that I started researching it before they were on exchanges. And they got into Ether Delta first, and it was, yeah, I didn't even want to touch it when it was on Ether Delta. But let's toggle over to CoinMarketCap, where you can see it just broke the top 100. It's doing about 17 million in volume a day now, and it's on Bittrex. Ether Delta is still down here trucking along. And no offense to Ether Delta at all, like it's a great starter exchange. But you can just flip it on if you have an ERC20 token. It's not not necessarily the most bona fide exchange out there. So I waited for it to go on to Bittrex and was excited to see that announcement, as well as KuCoin, both really great exchanges. But yeah, as you can see, it's doing really, really well right now as of May 2018. And the layers. So the application layer, security token marketplace on top, legal layer, that's where you have your KYC verifications in the middle, and then the protocol layer, a decentralized exchange. They're going to allow these people to actually exchange and interact so that you can make your investments with the ST20 standard token. And their primary bottleneck here is going to be telling people or instructing people how to launch them. I think that's probably going to be the most difficult piece here. So they have some good documentation. They are going to have to work on making it a little bit more dev friendly, just because this is very much a little bit too simple here, and ERC20 is even a little bit more difficult than this. But it's pretty straightforward, and I do like the fact that this is probably under 50 bullet points that you're going to submit, and yeah, they're doing a great job of following the rules and playing long term here, and that's why I'm super excited to be following this project, be supporting this project, and just really just enjoying following their progress. I mean, they are pioneering this space, and very, very cool to have securities and tokens come together in a legal way, offering people the ability to tokenize and essentially do an ICO, which a lot of people will say it already has like a stigma attached to it, but that's a whole nother conversation. And that's kind of it. I'd love to know what you guys think of Polymath. I want to know what you guys are interested about the project, what makes this so groundbreaking, and why is everybody DMing me about it? And I'd love to know in the comments below. Slap a like on this video if you guys want to see more of these live stream reviews. I'm always interested in doing things live, just so you know how I film and how I interact with the different sites and the different companies that I review, and the projects that I'm really, really passionate about and interested in. So that's it for this review. I will see you guys, I want to say tomorrow. I'm doing another review, an update video. And yeah, stay smart, and I will see you guys on the next one.